Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing today? On this Monday, right? This beautiful Monday. Welcome to Hidden Horror. Welcome. So, today I wanted to come and bring you an update. Do you recall last year there was an attempted shooting on a school bus in Maryland? And it was really sad because the gun jammed and thankfully, right? Nobody was hurt, but this was on a school bus. Two kids got on the bus, and they targeted the kid and tried to unalive him. So I want to give you an update. I've been searching, working so hard to get an update on this case. And I think it's very hard to get information on certain cases. And because the actors in this particular case were minors, they were juveniles. Um, it's harder to get that information and for their case to go through the criminal justice system, they're protected a little bit more, their names, and also just trying to get information on them. So I have an update. Now, the funny thing is about the update, we do have the name of one of the actors that was charged, and he pled guilty. They're recommending a certain sentence for him. They have released his name because they wanted to try him as an adult because of the acts being so heinous. So let's get started. Let's get started with it all. So on the Hidden Horror Facebook page, I have linked two articles. The first article discusses the trying him as an adult. And then the second article talks about how he eventually pled guilty. He was supposed to be sentenced May 17th. I cannot find his sentencing. I do know what they were going to recommend, but I cannot find his sentencing. So it may take a while to flush that out. Like I've been looking and backing up this case for probably I would say 8 to 10 months. All of this happened approximately a year ago, and now it's gone through this criminal justice system. He's pled guilty, and I believe he had his sentencing in May, but I cannot find anything that actually confirms it, details it. I might have to take the next step and see if I can start looking into their Department of Corrections and see if I can find some information for this teen as an inmate. I might have to take that step because I cannot find a written article. But because he's a minor, I really don't like to do that. Um, I just try to kind of wait until that minor turns 18. I don't like to put their name out there, even though it's in the article and that he was tried as an adult. I try to withhold the information because he is technically a minor. So you can't really get around it because his name has been released now. But let's start with the first article. The first article is on stnonline.com. It's dated March 11, 2024. It's written by Marari Acevedo Vigo. The title of the article is Maryland Teen Charged as Adult for Attempted Murder on School Bus. A Maryland judge ruled 16-year-old boy to be tried as an adult on charges connected to the attempted murder of a student on a Prince George's County school bus last May. So this was May of 2023. Like I said, we wrapped a year. Okay. So let's get to it. Shortly after the incident, federal law enforcement confirmed the arrest of teen rapper, and I'm going to release his name because they've tried him as an adult. He's pled guilty, and his name is in the article. They're not looking at him as a minor. If they were still trying to protect him as a juvenile, as a minor, they would not release his name, but they're not. Um, his name is Caden Holland, and his rap name is Baby K. Okay. After he attempted to shoot an eighth grade boy. However, the gun malfunctioned and the student survived the attack, only sustaining minor injuries. Okay. Police had offered more than $12,000 for information that led to the arrest of the teen. Baby K, along with two other teens, were indicted in June on 16 charges, including first and second degree attempted murder, assault, and reckless endangerment. According to local news reports, during the court proceedings, Prince George's County Assistant State's Attorney Sherry Wardrop cast doubt on the juvenile system's ability to help baby K, who has a history of anger and disrespecting authority. Judge Michael Whalen agreed, reportedly stating that the juvenile system failed Holland in the past. He was charged with gun violations at age 14, and while he did not complete his probation, his case was closed just 1.5 months before the attempted school bus shooting. So it sounds like he had already had a prior gun charge at the age of 14, according to this information contained in the article. And prior to him getting off probation for that gun charge, he then had the attempted school bus shooting. Wow, sad. The Prince George's County State's Attorney Office released a statement after a judge last week ruled Baby K will be tried as an adult. While we don't take any pleasure in asking for young people to be in an adult system, but we have to understand also is that our greater responsibility is to make sure that lives are saved, the report states. So they're saying they're looking at the well being of the community, the other age related kids between probably teenage up, and that it is a greater risk to have this you juvenile, this Mr. Baby K, back on the street in the community when he has not learned and he has not changed. He still has a weapon within that 1 year from 14 to 15 age. He has another charge, but this one has escalated. Not just probably carrying a gun, now he has used this gun allegedly in this attempted murder of this eighth grade student on the school bus, which he was not on the school bus. He entered onto the school bus with the weapon. Okay, so that's the first article. Now I'm going to go over the second article, but I'm going to share my screen because I want you to see this young man. I may even be able to show you the video of the incident. I will try. I will try. So let me reload the Hidden Horror Facebook page. So this is the young man, Mr. Holland. There's a video, and I will play that video. I would like to see the photos. So let's take a look at the photos. So this is a picture of the incident with Mr. Holland allegedly on the bus, and you can see the weapon in his right hand. And then this is just a photograph of him also, okay? Let's go to the next picture. This is an illustration from court. Another illustration from court. I guess they had him on a Zoom video call. They made a lot of press conferences about this case. They came out really strong because this is really gun control issue, violence. People in the community are going to be feeling fearful. This is an incident that could have really, really went bad if the GUN did not malfunction. So thankfully it did. But this is a sad case, and they came out really strong. The state's attorney speaking and just expressing really somberness because you don't want to really see somebody this young spend majority of their youth in prison, but you have to take a stand on gun violence, especially when and it's starting so young and within the schools. Okay, so I want to keep his picture up while I read this article. Unfortunate, we have to do better in our community so we're not failing these young people, showing them a good example, leading them, getting them involved in positive programs. I know you cannot save them all, but we have to try our best to be a positive influence, okay? So let's read the article and then we'll watch the video. So the article is by WJLA.com. It's dated March 14th, 2024. It's by Sana Azam. It's called Baby K Pleads Guilty to Attempted Murder After Prince George's County School Bus Attack. Now, I know the bus driver, she was interviewed after the incident and she was really upset. She really intervened. She tried to help the student. I believe when the GUN malfunctioned, they began to physically attack him, from what I remember, because this is a year ago, right? Um, and she intervened to stop it, to break it up. So, we hope all is well with her and those other students that were still on the bus at the time of the incident. But let's get started. A teen charged in a brutal attack on a Prince George's County Public Schools bus pled guilty to attempted first degree murder charges during a court hearing Thursday afternoon at a Prince George's County courthouse, 7 News learned. Caden Holland, 16, known as Baby K, was charged as an adult with attempted murder after an attack on a 14-year-old boy on a Prince George's County school bus last May. Holland is facing 25 years in prison. On May 1st, 2023, three masked teens stormed onto a PGCPS school bus and attacked a 14-year-old boy. Holland, which we can see right here, the GUN in his hand, pointed a GUN at the boy and pulled the trigger 3 times, but it didn't fire. After the attack, 2 of the 3 teens were taken into police custody, but at the time, police continued to look for Holland. On May 30th, Holland was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals. Can you imagine U.S. Marshals looking for your teenager son? Wow. Mr. Holland attempted to shoot the victim in his head and in his chest on multiple occasions. Fortunately, the gun malfunctioned and the victim survived, said State Attorney Aisha Braveboy during a press conference after the sentencing hearing. But clearly, he, the victim, and the bus driver and the bus aide have been traumatized and impacted for the rest of their lives. Yeah, I can remember the interview with the bus driver, and she really was. It was really sad. It was important for Mr. Holland and other young people to know that there are consequences for your actions. Brave Boy said, it does not matter how old you are. During the press conference, Brave Boy describes that throughout Holland's life, there was a series of failures that led him to commit the crime. She describes failures that were a part of Holland's household growing up, as well as the failures of the school system. Well, did he go to school? A lot of kids that have some behavioral issues, they may not be attending school daily or regularly. So, was he in school? Did he go to school? He's coming onto the bus from kids that have left school. So, he was not going to school at the time, right? Was he allegedly? Okay. This is a cautionary tale. There are so many kids, there are so many Mr. Hollands out there. I'm concerned about their safety and I'm concerned about the safety of our community. Brave Voice said, parents, you have the power to make the difference. I don't want to have make decisions or recommendations about your child's future. Parents, you should be doing that. But the only way you'll be in a position to do that is by taking responsibility for your children. The horror that occurred on the bus last May has impacted the bus driver significantly. After the attack, she began psychiatric care and has not returned to work since, said Martin Diggs, president of Local 2250. Holland will be incarcerated in an adult facility. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for May 17th. Um, I hope that when he goes to that adult facility that they do provide him with some protection as a juvenile until he turns 18. So he's protected. Because I don't think he will have any ability to protect himself being underage. Okay, let's watch the video. So let's watch that. Okay, let's see if I can play that for you guys.
Hello, everyone. I am Denise Douglas, Communications Director for State's Attorney Braveboy. As you all know, this case with Caden Holland has gripped and shocked the community. The State's Attorney is here to talk about the outcome of today's hearing, in which Mr. Holland pled guilty. We also have Mr. Diggs, who's with the ACE ASME union, and he will also make remarks. I'll go ahead and turn things over to the State's Attorney. And any question that you have that may not be on topic, that may be about something else, we'll kind of save that for later and we could do it after. So after she speaks and after he speaks, we'll take questions pertaining to this case. Anything else, we'll take afterwards.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. Today, 16-year-old Caden Holland, also known as Baby K, has accepted responsibility and entered a guilty plea on charges of attempted first degree murder and use of a firearm and a crime of violence. This young individual admitted guilt today. From the beginning of this case, we have promised to hold Mr. Holland and those involved accountable and responsible for their actions. We also promise to pursue justice and ensure the safety for this community. We believe that the outcome accomplishes all of these goals. This was a very serious case. It was important for Mr. Holland and other young people to know that there are consequences for your actions. It does not matter how old you are. My job, that of prosecutor, that of top law enforcement officer, is to hold you or anyone who commits offenses here in our county accountable and protect and get justice for our victims. Last May, Mr. Holland and two other teams stormed onto a school bus and attacked another team. Mr. Holland was armed with a gun, pointed it at the team, and pulled the trigger 3 times in an attempt to kill him. Mr. Holland attempted to shoot the victim in his head and in his chest on multiple occasions. Fortunately, the gun malfunctioned and the victim survived. But clearly, he, as well as the bus driver and the bus aide, have been traumatized and impacted for the rest of their lives. I want to thank President Martin Diggs, who's with us today. You'll hear from him very shortly. He's with ACE AFSME, Local 2250. Um, from the very outset of this case, he was contacted by my office. We wanted to ensure that he understood that we cared about the safety and security of not only our students, but also the employees who work for our school system. They are there to provide transportation for our children to get an education.
No,
And
that's
what
right.
happened on that bus should not have happened. I want to thank the bus driver who prayed. You could hear her on that video praying, asking that God intervene. And we are so grateful that her prayers were answered.
So sad.
Mr. Holland is facing a tough and stiff and appropriate penalty. The state at the sentencing hearing will be asking and recommending a sentence of 60 years with all but 25 suspended. So that would be 25 years of executed time. And that may seem like a tough and lengthy sentence for someone so young. But the consequences, the result of what could have been had that gun fired, would have been permanent.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
So we believe that this is an appropriate request from the state. We also recognize that Mr. Holland is a young person. We recognize that he does have a future, and we want him to have a quality and good future, one in which he can be successful and the community can be safe. And that is why both the prosecution and the defense are recommending that he serve his sentence at the Patuxent Youthful Offenders Institution. That is an adult institution. It is a maximum security prison, but that prison does offer therapy, counseling, both individualized counseling as well as group counseling. The programs at that institution, we believe, will provide Mr. Holland with the best opportunity for rehabilitation and to be able at some point in the future to re enter our community safely.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there and wrap the video up. Um, I'm hoping through these actions, unfortunately, that this will be an example for many communities that are suffering with just terrible gun violence. Um, I'm sure this sentence is really a deterrent, and hopefully people will think about things before they do them. So I'm hoping to find out what Mr. Holland's sentence is. It occurred over a month ago, so I might have to do some more digging, but I did want to bring you the update on the information that I do have today. But I'm going to have to keep looking, keep searching to see what was his sentencing last month in May of 2024. So thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for spending your time with me, Hidden Horror. I want you to have a beautiful evening and be well, be safe, be savvy, be smart, all my friends. Bye, everybody.